No, I think there is a historicity to this, and there's a certain institutional culture to this. Look, if I continue from where the DCOP left off, the National Security Council's Joint Intelligence Committee itself recognizes vigilantism, and here I'm quoting directly, as an albatross around the neck of the nation. But the Security Council's Joint Intelligence Committee is unwilling and incapable of punishing those within its own system who have been arrested. Now, the Emil Shaw Commission, to which you and I appeared before, concluded, quote, the commission finds rather disturbingly that the national security establishment is a means by which party supporters of succeeding governments are resettled, and this has created a creepy politicization and deprofessionalization of the establishment. So what happens is that the state's own ability to punish and to use the punishment to send a message has totally been undermined. So there's a culture of impunity, first in claiming to be a national security operative, and secondly, this boldness that says, nobody can do anything to me. But Evans, herein lies the challenge that we have. When you talk about a national security apparatus, there is an operational aspect of it, and there's the analytical threat assessment aspect of it. The council itself ought to provide the broad, grand, strategic vision, and then the secretariat becomes sort of the basic administrative, or provide the basic administrative, functions. Now, because the National Security Council is underpinned by the national security apparatus, that is all the institutional frameworks that come together to form the national security system. The council itself and its secretariat then does not perform operational functions, because all service chiefs and all security/intelligence institutions are members of the council. Then in the operations that DCOP is talking about, if it's a policing function, then it's the IGP who has to lead it, or the police institution. And if that institution doesn't have enough capacity and will need support from the Air Force, from the Navy, or from the armed forces, then it is requested. Because as a nation, the council has only one threat assessment. So if that assessment is about the impact of illegal small-scale mining, all members of the council cohere around that assessment, and any action that ought to be taken to deal with that threat is then jointly, initiated, led by one or two institutions. So this system that we have, this lacunae, this fuzziness, in which anyone at all in a mufti, hefty, barely speaks English, but can give you some very dirty slaps, represents the council. It's an anathema to our politics, to the rule of law, to the respect for human rights, to institutional efficacy, and it's now beginning to threaten the authority of the commander-in-chief. That must not be allowed to happen.